For this, please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
So, stalking is a crime in all 50 states. It's not cute, it's not sexy, it's not attractive, it is pathetic. It is ridiculous, and it's disgusting. It's also dangerous. So, there are women who have been killed by their stalker, or someone else was. John Hinckley Jr. was watching TV and, developed an imaginary romance with Jodie Foster, who was an actress. She consented to being watched, but not in her home. She consented to being watched in a movie. And some guy, went wacky, formed an imaginary romance with her, and thought that if he killed President Reagan, he would impress her. And it did not impress her when he attempted to assassinate the president. It made her sick at her stomach. And John Hinckley could not figure out why she was not impressed. That is some severe mental illness. He was indeed sentenced to, a mental hospital. So, normal people, when they are rejected, they simply move on. It's, you might have a short period of grieving of, you feel lost or you're sad because you were hoping that the feelings were mutual and you find out they're not, but you move on. That's what normal people do. They just move on, find somebody else. There's a lot of women in the world, there's a lot of men in the world, whichever you are into, and you simply find someone that fits you and likes you back. So when there's a stalker, that person has been rejected, and they're pathetic, and they can't move on, and they begin to engage in criminal activity. Messing with your car is top of that list. Vandalizing the car, causing a problem with the car. Domestic Violence Intervention Services of Oklahoma has a ride program because domestic violence offenders go at the car. Mr. Perry has gone at my car. He is a stalker. We understand over the last few days, as he has made ridiculous claims for years that he's the victim of a political vendetta and that there's a romance between he and I. I rejected him. He's not my cup of tea. I find him disgusting and repulsive. I feel nothing for him but deep, deep disgust. He makes my skin crawl. He's creepy. He's strange. He's boring. He's a voyeur. And he is involved in human trafficking, and that's why I'm being stalked, because he's involved in, well, not just human trafficking, sexual exploitation of women and children, and human rights violations, and that's what has gotten him in a lot of trouble. He also has Huntington's disease. Huntington's disease causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, and psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. He's not all there. His elevator does not only not go to the top, it's just not working. So a lot of people are beginning to get extremely frustrated when having a conversation with him in which they're trying to reason with him and he can't understand what they're saying. He can't. And so you talk in circles. One guy said it's like talking to Charles Perry is like talking to a drunk 6-year-old. It's just, you're wasting my time. I'm trying to reason with you. I'm trying to treat you like you're an intelligent adult. And your response is like that of a drunk 6-year-old. And I'm done wasting my time with you. I'm busy. I have things to do. Why don't you? So the frustration in trying to reason with the guy is skyrocketing. There's a lot more people who've had to have a conversation with him, and they're just sick of it. Because they're trying to explain to him why you can't do this. You can't do this. And here's why. You can't go in that club where she works and try to talk to her. She said she doesn't want to talk to you. That if you get anywhere near her, she'll beat the fuck out of you. Maybe that's because you've tried to ruin everything good. You took everything she owned. You've separated her from her family. You've ruined her reputation. You're trying to talk her into going being raped. That's what human trafficking is. So that you can make a profit. And she doesn't give a fuck about that. You know what she wants? Get the fuck out of her life. And so there's not going to be a conversation that you're going to talk her into going to being raped. It's not going to happen. And you being a mental case, you seem to think that would do the trick, and it's not going to do the trick. I said I would kick the fuck out of him if he got anywhere near me. I don't go where he is. I left Lubbock in 2013, November, and moved to the Dallas area to get away from Mr. Perry. We were talking about it. I think I sent an email to Connie Curry and Kathy Lantroop in like June 2013 and said that we wanted to leave Lubbock. In fact, we were talking to some of Tommy Tuberville's people, and the first thing out of their mouth when I met them is, we hate Lubbock. It's like Iraq. It's a slave town over here. This is weirdo town. And we want out, and as soon as he finds a job, we're out. And that's exactly what they did, and they didn't even dignify anybody with a response. Tommy Tuberville, who's now, by the way, United States Senator, Mr. Perry, there's no hints and there's no clues. He actually types in my other phone when I'm doing these podcasts. Is it Tommy Tuberville helping you? Mr. Perry, there's no fucking way I would ever help you. Never have, never will. Never have I helped you. That's some part of this we'll get to in a minute, that Mr. Perry is wasting a lot of time misreading what I'm saying. Right now, this is a recording. He should not know what I'm doing right now. The only way he knows what I'm doing is that he's a video voyeur, which is a sick, vulgar crime to watch a woman in the privacy of her home against her will. And he does it all damn day. And then thinks these podcasts are a conversation. They are not a conversation. I've not picked up the phone and called him. I'm recording a podcast in the privacy of my home. Literally types in my phone comments or questions during the recording in the other phone. He's not going to do it here where you can see him. So why is he in my phone, and why is he watching me in my house thinking this is a conversation? This is not a conversation. It is a podcast, and it's recorded. And we started doing these because we got tired of repeating ourselves for him. Well, maybe if we record it, he can just listen to the recording again. And we don't have to say the same thing over and over and over and over and over. You know what? We're used to very intelligent people. You say it once, and they got it. I work in a strip club with some girls. Some graduated high school. Some are in college. Some have graduated college. Some didn't finish high school. But I'll tell you one thing. There's not been one time I've had to say it more than once. Except if it's, once in a while you get someone who's drunk, and you say it when they're drunk, and you will have to say it again after that. But they're drunk. What's your excuse? Huntington's disease. You know how we found out? You were told in March 2020 by our guys that are investigating you, that told me you have Huntington's disease, you are not to invade her privacy again. You do not invade Cyndi's privacy anymore. You sick little fuck. That's illegal. You will stop, or I'll do it for you. You need to respect her and the law, or I'm going to do it for you. And you won't like it if I have to do it for you. You do not contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or through proxy or indirectly. No contact at all. Leave her alone. And she'd better not be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet, David. You don't interfere with commerce intending to coerce. You don't interfere with contracts intending to coerce. You can, but I promise you, if you do, I'll make sure you regret it. And you guys run around going, she found out again. How did that happen? We're seeing things happen we've never seen before. This has not happened before. Let's do it more. Or do you see why no one wants to waste their time in a conversation with someone who does things that don't even make sense for them? What kind of man humiliates himself like this to no avail and to his own detriment for this long and for this amount of money? is not just humiliating himself, but his family, his friends, his colleagues, and his whole entire organization. And this is not a man. This is not a man. This is stupid. I can take over an organization like that without, when they least expect it, without trying very hard at all. They're not businessmen. That's why I won't do business with sex perverts. Some of these guys that are in organized crime are into trafficking and sex crimes. Not me. I won't, because guess what? They make stupid decisions like that. This is an astronomical amount of money that they have spent getting very sensitive information that you don't want in the wrong hands, right to the wrong people, right into the wrong hands. It's like that's what they're trying to do, the guy said. All right, so you can live with your choices, can you not? But more and more people are getting very, very tired of having to take Mr. Perry's phone calls and have the same conversation they've already had 100 times, and it's just not getting through. Things do not click for him. We found out he had Huntington's disease because of his cruelty. Someone called our guys, or talked with one of our guys. I think there's somebody that had been talking, probably an informant or something. And the guy said, Charles Perry has Huntington's disease, and he does not want Cynthia to know. But I'm tired of him torturing her, and I'm tired of his cruelty, and I'm tired of him making problems for her and making her suffer, so make sure she finds out. That's why he acts like that. He's not all there. His mind is whacked. The guy's whacked. So I want you to know why that is. Here's what he's got. Here's the actual diagnosis. And he's run, Mr. Perry, you act like you think I care what you think, and no one understands why in the hell you think that, but for your disease. I didn't ask you. I don't care. Get out of my phone and shut up and go away. I don't want to hear it. The more you invade my privacy, contact me, and take from me or cause a problem for me or take my money, the more intel we have gotten over the last 10 years on your organized crime, sir. Alleged organized crime. Was that your goal 10 years ago, sir? Are you getting what you want acting like you're acting? Because we are. In your make-believe world, what do you think we're going to do with all that? Tell the judge. You like going to court and talking to judges about all kinds of things. None of it has any basis in reality at all. And for some reason, none of them are making you prove what you say. We think that is interesting. We're going to use it to build a case against you, just so you know. We've said that, have we not? Everything you do in the court system can and will be held against you in a criminal case, sir. We'll make sure of it. We're going to use that to build it, sir. Okay? You don't even know who we are. It's a need to know. And if you're not on the list of need to know, then you don't get to know. Okay? If you're a corrupt, some piece of shit, you don't get to know. All right, so the guy said Mr. Perry has been in Oklahoma. Oh, let me back up. Okay, so I think Tuberville went to dinner and was having a recruiting dinner and then got up and left. He got a text or something about a job he got, and that was it. Got him left. Did not tell anybody goodbye. Didn't tell anybody where he was going. Literally did not dignify them with shit. Literally got up and walked out, and that was that. And the recruits thought he went to the bathroom. He left. He was like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. So, right around that time that they told me that's what they were going to do, I think we kind of said the same thing. We can't stand it here. This place is whacked. I've lived in a lot of towns. This is whack. I hate it here. I don't want to be here. I've got some whack job stalking me, and I'm done. I'm done. So even in 2011, 2012, 2013, we were starting to talk about Mr. Perry's stalking me, how strange it was to be subjected to that kind of conduct, and creepy, that he was creepy, and that we wanted to leave the town. And so I left November 2013. I had a friend that was very close to me that asked me to stay. He died of cancer. The second he died, we were gone. We left. So Mr. Perry comes to Dallas and bothered me there. So we left again, and I came to Oklahoma to be with my family and to get away from Mr. Perry and to never again have to hear what he thinks or how he feels or what he wants or what he needs. So having a conversation with me is absolutely never going to happen. I will beat the shit out of him if he gets anywhere near me. I don't want to hear it. We're all sick of hearing it. We get it. You want to traffic me. You want money off my body. You want to exploit me and get rich quick using my body against my will. And I've told you over and over and over, no and fuck you. And that's my final answer. And the more you pressure me, the more charges you'll be hit with. I'm just saying. You are not to contact me or my family. You're not to invade my privacy, and you're not to take my money. And after you decided that you thought you had a choice, we got the names of your accomplices: Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, Betancourt, Blankenship, Desiree, Andrew, Lawrence, James, Reuben, Richard, Dickey, Greg, Tim, Larry. And as of late, every time when you lay it on real thick, we really get names. We get names of more people. So we got Beverly, Renee, Sonjay. We got Jacob, Gabe, now Damien, and Bethany. Was that what you wanted? That's what we wanted. We love getting information like that. The more cruel you get, the more creepy, the more you pester me, the more you bother me, the more we get. Your leaks, infiltrators, or whoever, I'm not told what all they get from leaks, what they get from a wiretap order of some sort, but what I do know is that you start pissing off the wrong people when you go at me like that. Because he told you, comply with the law. I'm going to ask one thing of you, Mr. Perry. Comply with the law like everybody else can do. You're a fail. You're a failure. Everyone else just complies with the law. And you can't. You cannot just keep up with a normal, civilized society. You're a rejected failure and a disgust to humankind. And you're the reason people don't want to have kids and bring them into a world with people like you in it who rape and pillage and rob and steal and impose and burden other people who've done nothing to you at all. I left. All you had to do is leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone, whack job. Leave me the fuck alone. And I'll tell you something. Only I will define how you make me feel and how I perceive you. And I perceive you as a whack job. Boo fucking who? You chose that. You're acting like a whack job. So if you don't want to be called names, creepy Chucky, then don't act like a creepy Chucky. Don't act like a wackadoo. Get off your ass and get out of my life. And never bother me again. Show even some self-respect and some dignity. What kind of man humiliates himself like that to no avail, to his own detriment, for that long and that amount of money? And you don't want sensitive information getting into the wrong hands like you guys have? So what in the hell is wrong with this bitch that he continues to get sensitive information into the wrong hands? I'm telling you something. If that happens every time one person is bothered and one person is broke, one time is all that would happen, and I would make sure that person is not bothered ever again or broke ever again. And I'm not saying what I'm saying is they're doing things intentionally to cause me to be broke. Because Mr. Perry has told everybody who would listen, I'm going to starve her into a lie. I'm going to arrange another false arrest. I'm going to take her car. I'm going to ruin her car. I'm going to do something so that she has no car. I'll find a way. It's legal. It's not legal, but I'm going to do that because I think that if I do that, I can pressure her to lie for me and be trafficked so I can use her body for personal profit in my human trafficking, prostitution, sex exploitation business. Right? Isn't that what you've told everybody in Oklahoma who will listen? And in order to get some people's cooperation, he's told them that there's a romance there. There's no romance there. He's a fucking reject. I've not seen Mr. Perry since 2013. I don't want to see Mr. Perry. I just said, if he gets anywhere near me, I will kick the living fuck out of him. His balls will be in his brain. And he's already a broccoli brain. He's already a veggie. So we're done. We're tired of you, sir. We're sick of you. I didn't invite you to Oklahoma. I didn't introduce you to my family. I never would have taken you around my family, and you have caused a 4-year separation. And for that, you will pay. For that, sometimes we get names of your accomplices. For the losses you've caused, right now you're paying for it in ways you have never had to before. You yourselves say, this never happened before, but it has. Every day for 10 years, when you do the crime to me, it's different, but it's the same every time you do it. So some guy was like, Mr. Perry has been in Oklahoma for a decade, running around telling people that there's a romance and a political vendetta, and I have looked high and low, and I've seen not one shred of evidence of either one. Come to find out, he's got a mental illness called Huntington's disease, in which it causes him to imagine things that are not real. So he's basically gone around making a complete buffoon of himself, and the people around him that work for him have let him do it. And it is my opinion that his family needs to get an executor of his accounts, because in my opinion, the guys working for him allowed him to go around making a buffoon of himself and an idiot of himself so they can get his money. That's what I think. I think that he's no longer able to make a reasonable, intelligent decision with any part of his life. No part of it. Because no one in their right mind is going to go around for 10 years and say they're in a romance with someone who will have nothing to... She's taking him to court and tried to get a protective order against him 11 times, and 11 times he bought his way out. That is not a romance. There is no political vendetta. The guy had just got elected when she lived in Lubbock. I'm quoting somebody else, by the way. That's why I'm talking third person. So, she helped him get elected. I'm looking at emails here that she sent. It says something about he's telling her she's a bright spot in his campaign, and I mean, you can tell that she was involved in helping him get elected. So that's not a vendetta. She's helped him get elected. He was new. He had not been in politics at all. Barely voted sometimes. I mean, this guy was just not involved at all, and this girl's been in it all her life. Very, very well established for all her life. And her family was in politics. Her granddad was an elected official. So this person has been established in it all her life. And here's a new guy. He's brand new. Hadn't done a damn thing. He has no history to point to or attack. She leaves. He then goes from state assembly to state senator. Except he doesn't ever do anything. He's always in Oklahoma stalking her. Can't account for his time. Can't tell anybody why the hell he's there except for he's a stalker. Because no one in their right mind who's accused of stalking goes where the accuser is and won't leave. Not down the street. It's not like they're in the same neighborhood. This is two different conversations. They're not in the same neighborhood and running into each other at the local grocery. Just happen to end up at the same place. She's thousands of miles away from his home and his family and his job as a senator in another state. So what moron goes to the state where the accuser is, refuses to leave, and expects people to believe him when he says he's not stalking? That is stalking. Introduced himself to her family and now has caused a separation between her and her family. Yeah, I don't think that's it. And he's treating me like I'm stupid like him, and I'm not. So, I'm not. I didn't just fall off the turn-up truck. Anyways, back to the other guy. The other guy says he's got nothing to attack. He's not working. He's in Oklahoma stalking her. He cannot account for how he's spending his time and why he's there, but for stalking. So there's no political vendetta. There's no romance. There's nothing to attack. I'm not seeing a shred of evidence in either one. He's gone all over the state of Oklahoma and made claims that are bizarre, that he has no evidence to support at all. He's a whack job. And the people working for him have just let him do it. And there's only one reason they would do that. If they're not mentally ill like he is, they just want his money. And they're taking advantage of his mental impairment. And so maybe it's time he get an executor to decide how and where he spends his money, because he's paying these men to get her information. Which ones are leaking? Mr. Perry's typing in my phone. There's things that he types in my phone every fucking day. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna take your car. I made you broke. Call me. Why don't you like me? Call me. You're my wife. Call me. I'm gonna take everything you have. I'm gonna starve you. What else did he throw? I'm gonna have you arrested. I'm gonna have your club raided. I'm gonna take your car. Call me. I'm like, oh my, wow. I'm gonna make you go. You're gonna lie. I'm gonna make you lie. I'm gonna make you go. Wow. Are you? And my guys are sitting there watching everything he does on my phone. They are also in my phone because I gave them permission to watch what he's doing. No one else is to be in my phone. It is a violation of my privacy, and I have the right to my privacy. Mr. Perry cloned my phone, so the evidence of that is in his phone, not mine. Okay? So they sit there and watch everything he types in my phone every time he does that. Go to work. I'm going to get you. I'm going to make you go. Go to work. Really? You're going to do something to me at work to make me go? Like, grab me off the stage and handcuff me and then sit me down in a room and say, you're going to sign the recant of your claims that I typed up, my words? You're going to do it, we're going to do the same thing to you we did to Mike Neely and frame you for a murder? And then you're going to go to Houston to be trafficked because I said so. It doesn't matter if it's legal or not. I said so. Right? We've already talked about this, Mr. Perry, umpteen jillion times. We've talked about the shoes. You wanted to frame me for a murder, and the doppelganger you found has darker skin than me, and her hair is more of a yellow blonde. And so you wanted her to change her hair color to my hair color. And you wanted me to go tan so my skin will match her skin. And someone else said, well, but that girl's quite a bit bigger than Cynthia. Quite a bit bigger. So, what, are you going to shrink her and make her lose weight? I mean, come on. So you're trying to, and then in 2021, you talked to one of my professors, or someone at TPD did. Maybe Blankenship or one of those guys. I don't know. I'm not told even who I'm listening to. But I could tell by the conversation with somebody at TPD, because he said, by the way, my professors were cops. Most of them. I was in criminal justice college, so most of them were cops. Some of them federal. He goes, she's not being cooperative in a murder investigation. And the guy goes, but you're altering evidence. If you have to alter evidence, she didn't do it. By the way, if she knows this, her guys know she didn't do it. You're trying to alter evidence to frame her. They know that. So what are you thinking, dum-dum? The shoes, Mr. Perry, literally took everything I owned on August 2nd. I don't have any shoes that I had in 2021 when they had that conversation. And about the 20 before that, about getting my shoe print. He took them. So I had to go to the store and get new shoes. And in 2022, about, I don't know, June or July 2022, Beverly said, I wish she was wearing the same shoes and this would be over. My guys got that. Okay, they got it on their recording wire, whatever. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, we had this 2021 email about my shoes and altering evidence, and this is how long they've been trying to frame me for this murder. We've got recordings of it, which I typed up in an email. So my guys know I didn't do it. You're trying to frame me. And now Beverly's worried about shoes that I got after August 2nd. Way after these emails from 2021 where they're talking about my shoe print. So you couldn't even get your frame up right, which was funny as hell. We're like, this is so easy, it's not even fair. So we found out she said that, and I'm like, first of all, I don't know Beverly, never met her in my life. All those people I just named, to the best of my knowledge, I've not met them in my life, except for Jacob. I've met Jacob. I believe I met Dickie and Richard. I believe that I have met maybe Bethany, but I'm not sure. Monique, who's Monique? Where's she today? Charles, explain to the court who that is. Where's she right now? Okay? Explain to the court all that. The guys know, and it'll come out in your criminal case. So why don't you get ahead of it and give us all your excuses, okay? When you go to Parker's court or Farmer's court or Kirkendall's court or Egan's court, if whatever court you're in now, go have another hearing and explain who's Monique and where is she today. And it give us all the excuses, okay, of why you did what you did, why you do what you do. And then that way, if you lie, we can use that too in your criminal case. Here's another perjury. All they have to do is set up all your perjuries first. Right off the bat, let's set up all the perjured statements Mr. Perry made in court about a political vendetta and a false police report. Let's start with that. And then all the times he said she was not illegally detained, and then all the times he played doctor and said, "Oh, I'm not doing all that. She's just crazy." Okay, we'll start with those 4 lies that you said in a court of law, and the concealment of my testimony for Mike Neely. That'll be number 5. And then we'll make sure that the jury has an immediate idea of your ability to tell the truth. Okay? And then we'll see how that works for you in a criminal case. We've had this plan for a long time. We've actually told you straight up, here's what we're going to do. That's our strategy. We're going to make sure the jury hears every fucking lie you told under oath in a court of law. Okay? And then after that, they won't believe a word that comes out of your mouth. Because we've shown them who you are. This is who Mr. Perry is. He will go into court and under oath tell a bold-faced lie. So now he needs to explain in your political vendetta that you've imagined and your romance that you've imagined, which conflict, by the way, because a romance is personal, has nothing at all to do with your legislative duties, does it? Ask Bill Clinton. Ask Bill Clinton. Ask Bill Sanford. Where was he? Shit, like North Carolina. You know, one of those guys who got it. Ask Anthony Weiner. Does your personal life have anything at all to do with legislative duties? Ask them if you don't know. Stupid. So those 2 things conflict. And you go ahead, we're going to stack up every lie you've told. And then we'll ask the jury to believe you, sir, when you say you didn't do it. All right? How about that? And you knew that in the 3 times that I sued you civilly, that you never once allowed for a fair, impartial jury hearing. A jury decision was not made in any of them. At no time did I go into court and present my evidence and present witnesses and get a jury verdict, because you knew we were going to do that, didn't you? Because we've been saying it for many years. We're going to make sure the jury hears every lie you've told under oath. Because if you can lie in a court of law under oath, you can lie to anyone, anywhere, anytime about anything. You're bold on your bullshit, aren't you? That was our plan long time ago. So instead, you guys went and had a backroom deal with the judge and got everything dismissed. No one knows what you said in there. In Judge Egan's court, in Judge Morrissey's court, in Judge Payne's court. You know what a reporter said about Judge Payne? Judge Payne is from Lubbock. Judge Payne is a federal judge in the North District of Oklahoma, Tulsa. Somehow I get him on my first federal lawsuit against you. Oh, shock and dismay. What are the chances? And a reporter went, there's no fucking way that was an accident. So, what I'm going to say is, it is incumbent upon this judge to be very fair with Ms. Ortiz, to avoid all appearances of impropriety. And that judge did not do that. He kicks it to Lubbock, where nothing happened that was illegal. No, I'm sorry, that's not right. Very little happened. The injuries happened to me because I was in Oklahoma. They may have originated out of Lubbock, but they actually occurred in Oklahoma. So if you look at employees, mutual benefit versus Bartile roofs, you got a bunch of states involved, and the 10th Circuit said the injuries, though, happened in this state, so that's the state of jurisdiction. And whatever reason, Judge Payne says, yeah, we don't have to go by what's been decided already. And actually, you do, Judge Payne. And now you look like you're a fraud, just like Mr. Perry, and you're from Lubbock. That didn't help. Judge Cummings went duck hunting with them and did the same thing. Kicks it out with no reason on his orders, no well thought out logical explanation or cited case law, just a denial. Just that's it. I've never been in his courtroom. I've never said a word to him directly. There's been no hearing. There was no hearing in Judge Egan's court. There was no hearing in Judge Morrissey's court that I was there, except for on Lady Godiva's. And in that one, she said, I want Mr. Goodwin to file a brief, and Ms. Ortiz, do you want this one to be your answer, or would you like to wait till he files a brief and then answer his brief? And I said, I want to answer his brief. I don't know what he's going to say. It doesn't make any sense for me to use this one. And she said, well, then we're going to nix this one. We're going to strike it from the record. He's going to write a brief. And then you're going to answer it. Then we're going to have another hearing. And the next thing you know, all of a sudden, the whole thing's dismissed. That's not fishy. That's not fishy at all. What do you have to hide, princess? You coward. You're a coward. But the reason you guys did that is because we told you what we were going to do. We're going to first establish that Mr. Perry can't tell the truth. Is it due to his mental illness? Or is he flat out bold-faced lying? Intentionally deceiving a court. And someone said, how can they convict him in a perjury case if there is a perjury case, and it sounds like there is, when he's got a mental illness? And the guy goes, easy. The whole group of them say the same lie. If it was only him, he could argue, I have a mental illness that causes me not to be able to tell the difference between fact and fiction. It was not intentional and it was not malicious. I just don't know what I'm saying. I've gone mental, like Alzheimer's or senile dementia. That's what Huntington's disease is causing me to have those same kind of symptoms. But he can't, because they all told the same fucking lie. So it's going to be very easy to convict him on intentional and willful perjury and fraud. Because they all said it. They all lied. They don't all have Huntington's disease. So he can't make that argument. Can he? No, he cannot. And this is how my guys think. 24/7. They are protecting me. I matter. You don't. You don't matter. You never have. I matter. We're getting help with information like that. You're getting told on. And it's been that way every day, all day long for 10 years. Name one of my guys that told me I have Huntington's disease. Right? Or gave me those names that I just listed off. Or that you were trying to frame me for a murder. Or that you want to jerk me off the stage and make a scene. And cause a big, ugly drama at my work. And then that there is an affidavit of recant that you typed up. It's not my words, it's your words. And that you've trafficked me. Name one of the guys that got that information from you to me. Oh my God, you can't, can you? No, they won't waste their time talking to you. He said when Mr. Perry does what I told him and acts like he understands me, don't invade her privacy, don't contact her, and she'd better not be broke. Respect her, respect the law, or I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to kick your ass, bitch. Who do you think you are? Beating down women and kids like that. Who the fuck do you think you are? So, you don't get to do that. It's illegal for a reason. Okay? So, he's made good on that promise, has he not? Mr. Bettencourt, if you weren't stupid, it would make you shit yourself that I have your name. Because to the best of my knowledge, we've never met. Not one time. Now, if that's not true, you have come to me and interacted with me, and I didn't know who the hell you were. You knew me, and I don't know you. So how did that happen? So you had this plan. We've talked about it over and 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 over. And the other day, one of his guys comes into my work and says, aren't you good at dance? And I looked at him and I go, no. Like, what the fuck do you care? What the hell do you care? And I go, did you want a VIP or something? No. Okay, then what the fuck difference does it make to you? You're a little angry about this. You're emotional about it. And there's only one reason for that. They told you what they were going to do and promised you money. if they did it. If they could get me back on the stage and jerk me off in some false arrest, big drama, make a big scene. Mr. Perry's all constantly, we're going to raid your club. We're going to raid you. Are you? Why don't you threaten me like that to my face, princess? And let me beat the fuck out of you. I promise you'll never do it again. You will never do it again. You gotta hide behind your little TV, right? See, I'm not Jodie Foster. I didn't agree to be watched in my home. She wasn't watched in her home, by the way. She filmed a movie. A little different, don't you think, sicko? Okay, so, this guy was clearly promised money. When I can deliver her to the buyer in a human trafficking deal that was illegal, I'm going to get money. And I'm going to pass some of that money out to people I've asked to work for me. Is he one? Because why would he be all emotional and all upset about me not wanting to get on the stage, Mr. Perry? What's it to him? Mr. Perry, every time you contact me like you just did, the guys know about it. And you're going to pay for that in ways you've never had to before. Name one of them. Yeah, quote one of their meetings. Oh, yeah, you can't. See, you are hated, and you get told on, and we get the help with information. And it's been that way for a decade. And you're so dumb, you act like you don't get how this works or what's happening. You're not processing what's happening. You will make people sick at their stomach. Everybody hates you. Everybody wants you gone. And you're not getting that. We get the help, you get told on. You can't name my guys. Well, can you? No. My guy said if he can't listen to and understand the words, don't invade her privacy, don't contact her at all. Creepy Chucky, don't contact her at all. Do not invade her privacy. You mind your own fucking business, princess. Mind your own fucking business. And she's not to be broke, or else I'll kick your criminal ass like it's not been kicked in your lives. All of you. Right, Lucius? I've not met Lucius. You don't know what it means that I have that, or you shit yourself. You're just not all there. None of you are all there, right? Yeah, no, we don't know what to say to this. We really don't know what to say to this. So, what's this guy all emotional that I'm not getting on the stage? I don't have to get on stage. It's my choice. I don't have to. It's none of your business anyway, is it? The accusations, Mr. Perry, stupid. I think you're stupid. I can say how I see you. I see you as the dumbest fuck ever who ever lived. The dumbest bitch who ever lived. The creepiest little fuck ever on the planet. Weirdest of the weird. That's my opinion of you. That's my perception of you. Not sexy guy, not hot guy, not smart guy. No. Creepy, offensive, sick, vulgar, disgusting rapist, cop killer, allegedly, and an alleged pedophile. A piece of shit nobody. And so somebody said tonight, this guy has watched her in her house, and if she watches a certain TV show, he'll think she's hinting at it, and then he'll have us all make a bunch of phone calls, trying to find out, is it this guy or is it that guy? She watched a TV show with this person in it, and or this character, and now we're all supposed to call around and look for somebody with that name. Because Mr. Perry, in his wild imagination, bullshit, pretend life, he thinks she's hinting at it, and and it turns up nothing. So we all wasted hours of our time doing that. What they did on one is I had a customer that asked me my real name, which to me is incredibly offensive. It is incredibly offensive. This person, it's a customer, and I won't hardly talk to him because he's asked me about 3 questions where I've had to look at him and say, that is absolutely none of your business. And how dare you ask me a question like that? You know what? I've been doing this 10 years, and I've met a lot of people. None of them, except the ones who work for Charles Perry, ask me questions that are that sick and that twisted, and none of your business. Get some class. The guy goes, oh, I've had a lot of women I've asked that question to, and they don't care. And I looked at him and I go, I don't know what kind of women you're used to hanging out with. I'm not that, sir. Do not ever ask me a question like that again, and it is none of your motherfucking business. And we're done. Don't ask me for another dance. Don't ask me for shit. You stay away from me. Flat said it. But before that, he asked me what my real name was, and I'm fucking with him, and I gave him a name. And it wasn't a real. It was the name of someone who's not even a real person. And he believed me. And Charles got them all calling around. Can we find someone with this name? Cyndi hinted at it. So let's find the person with this name. And we're laughing our asses off. We're like, oh my God, they think that's. So we had to show them, no, this is not a real person. This is where that name came from. Dumb. This is so easy. It's not fair. So the guy goes, I'm going to tell you something. This has gone on now for 10 years. And Charles is seeing things that Cynthia doesn't want him to see. And he's taking it wrong. And he will spend hours of your time with bullshit he's coming up with out of his ass. Because there's no evidence of it. There's no proof of it. And you'll be asked to call and make a fool of yourself for him about stuff that is stupid. And there's nothing to it. She's fucking with him. I promise you one thing. He has ruined everything good for her. She hates him and wants him gone. So there's no fucking way she'll help him. But he actually thinks that she's dropping hints and trying to help him. And that is a bunch of crap. So tell him you made phone calls that turned up nothing and leave it at that. But because I'm going to tell you something, her people will not call him back. They're not letting him waste their time like he's wasted ours. They're not doing it. And that's why they've got so much information. They've got information they can really do something with. Because they do not allow Mr. Perry to waste their time. They're not letting him do it. A lot of us have let him waste hours and hours and hours of our valuable time that we could have been doing something productive. And I think maybe we need to look at the results that we're getting and the results her people are getting. Because they got results they can do something with. And we got nothing. We got absolutely nothing. You follow the lead of a whack job, diagnosed certified whack job, who needs to be in a mental hospital getting the proper treatment and maybe have an executor over his accounts because he's making decisions to pay people who are letting him make a complete fool of himself for 10 years. Getting us names of all their Calvin. I've not met Calvin, but we hear he's bald and fat and mean as fuck. And he's a hated bitch. I think that we heard Dickie told everybody, I've watched her for 10 years. She does not make mistakes. If she gives you something, it's nothing it's bullshit. She's fucking with you. Or it's something that she knows you're going to react to, and your reaction will be used against you in the criminal case these guys are building against him. So if she gives you something, they got some already planned they're going to do with it to use in court against Charles. Because she doesn't make mistakes. I've seen her for 10 years, doesn't make mistakes. I've seen all kinds of guys run around acting like they think they got something out of her, and that's not what happened. She did something to make you think that so that you'd react exactly like you did, and then she can say, well, I did say I told you so, and we're going to use that in your criminal case, by the way, because the allegations are stalking. The allegations are hacking. The allegations are invading my privacy in a very vulgar, illegal way. The allegations are you're taking my money. Get your hands out of my wallet. You're getting your shit in my business and finding out stuff you shouldn't know or care about, except that you're stalking and you're a trafficker. It's either good intel or it's bad. Whatever I'm doing is sometimes to prove out intel that we've got. We're going to see if it's good or bad. Maybe they heard you talking to the guy. And then he comes into my work. I'm going to tell him something that's going to prove the intel is good or bad. Or I'm going to fuck with you because I can. I'm at work. I moved 2 times to get away from you. I don't want to hear anything at all from you. I don't give a fuck about you at all. No one does. We get the help. You get told on. It's not once or twice. It's not for a day or a week. It's every day, all day long, for a decade. You're told on. We get the help. You're told on. Because you are hated for the cruelty and the imposition that you are and the burden. Nobody owes you a thing. All you had to do is leave me the fuck alone.
That's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. All you want. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman's giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date, a different...
Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Fuck off and leave me the fuck alone. If you can't be normal, I don't want anything to do with you.
different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. All you want. I don't want.
Young ladies and young girls and girls talk.
Okay, listen to how whack bizarre the things are this guy says. And Mr. Perry has spent a decade doing the same thing in a state where he does not live. By the way, I guess someone looked at this and said, Mr. Perry cannot run for governor, because a lot of this is that he needed a cover-up so that he could run for governor. So he really was trying to push and pressure and force Cynthia to recant her claims so he could run for governor. And someone did already say he cannot run for governor. And the guy goes, why? And he goes, he's too stupid. The thing is, he's caught. He has starved her. This was not now. This was several months ago, in the summer. He said, Cynthia has not eaten for 4 days because here we go again. Charles is trying to starve her till she lies. So she's not eaten for 4 days. Who the hell does shit like that to another person? We don't do it. You do that to a dog, they put you in jail for animal cruelty. We sure shit don't put up with it for humans, sir. And he's caught. And if he's too dumb to know he's caught, he can't be governor. Well, we're all talking about it. She's talking about it. He tried to kidnap her twice this week. So if he's caught and we're all talking about it and he doesn't know that, he's not smart enough to be governor. And if he's not smart enough to know that when you're caught, that's when you stop, then he's not smart enough to be governor. Not that you should do this stuff anyway. And if he's not smart enough to know that you don't do this stuff anyway, he can't be governor. Now, it's even worse than that. Anyone can challenge his residency because he's been into Oklahoma for more than 90 days and he's refused to leave. Refusal to leave is expression of his intent to stay in Oklahoma, which means he no longer lives in Texas and you can't run for public office in Texas if you live in Oklahoma. It's been 9 years of this. So he left his family, he left his job, he left his public service in Texas, and he's been in Oklahoma for 9 years, refusing to leave. Running around telling everybody that even though Cynthia will have nothing to do with him, that they're a couple, and that he's a victim of a political vendetta that nobody knows what the fuck it's about, and there's no evidence. He hasn't done anything to attack because he's spent 9 years stalking her, not passing impressive laws in a state where he should be, but is not. So he abandoned the post, he abandoned his family, and he looks like a fucking fool. He's gone in the state and made a complete moron, buffoon ass of himself. And those guys working for him just let him do it. Wow. And she's quoted them every day. And they all want to know who's helping her. And no one will call them back. You know why? He's wasting people's time with crazy shit. There's no basis to believe it's real. There's no evidence. Check into this, check into that. And everybody runs around spending hours of their time to come up empty. Because you had someone who hallucinates and imagines. And guess what? That's why her people won't call back. They're not going to allow their time to be wasted. They're not. They're busy doing intel ops. They're busy keeping her safe. They're busy building a case, and they have no time to talk to someone where they have to repeat themselves over and over and over. If you can't understand, don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family at all. And she's not to be broke. Respect her, respect the law, or I'm going to do it for you. Then I'm not going to waste my time on a phone call. So, her people aren't able to get a lot done. Something they can do something with. While we all, in Oklahoma, running around making a fool of ourselves for him. Making a bunch of phone calls that go nowhere, that we can't do anything with. Because they are delusion of a man who is diagnosed mentally ill. Wow. Now you know why we don't respect locals. Most of them. Some we do, most of them we do not. Because they're doing that. Doesn't even make sense, does it? Gosh, you're upset. She's objectifying what she does. I'm sorry, she's objectifying what you're doing with what she's doing? Right. She's moved to get away from a stalker. Now he's in your state, and you're investigating her, not him? Yeah. Huh. Doesn't even make sense. And you're wasting my time. Just as much you are. Just as much as he is. Wasting your time, now you're wasting mine. I can't help you. I can't. None of you are, I don't have time for this. We're busy. Why aren't you?
Me by, and I didn't want you to pass me by when I saw you. I thought you were the one for me, and I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. Just to kick back and relax in life and get away from the ratness, the rotten people, and just pursue a different life, get a better head start, I'm no one to preach to you. I'm not Mr. Perfect. Believe me, I've got so many faults, way more than even you do in your crazy life you live. But
I'm a preschool teacher.
I don't wish, and I don't want any ill will on you. And animosity and anger is not good for the heart. I'm not angry at you. You know I love you. And I don't say that about anybody. Never, ever.
I don't know.
He acts like he thinks there's a romance there. And she's like, the fuck? What in the fuck is wrong with this person? There's nothing there. You have something in your head that is only in your head. It's not real to me. It doesn't go both ways. I don't think that of you. I think you're disgusting. I think you're a fucking weirdo. Look at how she's reacting. Perry does it to me all day, every day. It is sick and twisted. It is gross. It's just so nasty and so creepy and so gross. Ugh, you're just gagging. You're just gagging on it. Please, whack job, fuck off.
Me Ashley, the other girl I wanted to get to know. And she left her mom, or she got arguments with her mom. Not her mom, her sister. And they were, getting along, and she's a real friendly, quiet girl. She's like the girl you'd see on Nickelodeon and the Mickey Mouse Club growing up. But, I don't want to pursue anybody that way. There's young ladies and young girls and girls passed me by, and I didn't want you to pass me by when I saw you.
Alright, so next time I get a name, it is because Mr. Perry just pissed us all off contacting me again. You're creeping me out. Don't invade my privacy. Don't contact me again, sir.
Alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping you. Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping.
You disgust me, Mr. Perry. You repulse me. There's not a romance there. You're a whack job. You've imposed and burdened and imposed and burdened, imposed and burdened for a very long time, and you are very hated, all of you. And so we can get the help with information, and you get told on, and you're not putting that cause and effect together before and after, same and different, like a 6-year-old could do. And so people have complained, the guy is wasting my fucking time, and I don't have time for that. And maybe we should do what her guys are doing, and not take his phone calls, and let him waste our time. So that's why they will not let him know who they are. They're not going to have him calling all day long, having the same fucking argument where he doesn't understand a word you say. And it's very frustrating, and I'm sick and tired of him doing that to me and wasting my time. And why don't you call this guy and see if it's him, and why don't you call that guy and see if, and it comes up nothing, because he's imagining things that aren't real. And he's wasting everybody's time. We're busy. Why isn't he? So every time you contact me, every time you invade my privacy, every day that you make me broke, they make you pay in ways you haven't ever had to pay before. First of all. Second of all, you haven't even been arrested yet. So the best is yet to come. That's what they're using that for, sir. I don't know in your little cuckoo bird land what it is. Bullshit yourself all you want. It doesn't change what they're going to do. It doesn't change it. And they're getting the pressure to hurry up because you're a menace and a pest. We're all sick of dealing with it. Why can't you leave everybody the fuck alone? Why must you sit around all day and bother and harass and threaten and bother and harass and threaten people who did nothing to you at all except reject you and move away to avoid a conflict, and you making a scene, and everything's a problem, and everything's drama, and everything's an ordeal, and if it's fun and good, you fuck it up. And we're all tired of that.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping you.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second,
So there's this Facebook page that we document each and every day what threat Mr. Perry makes for that day. I'm going to take your car. The guy said everybody is about ready to hit him and David Roberson because they're constantly calling, whining and nagging and whining. Please get our car away. Please ruin the engine. Please slash the tires. Please wreck her car. Please take her car away. Then she'll do what we want. Pressure, coercion, force. You're forcing cooperation, which is not cooperation. And I said no. Any other victim know that they were trafficked before you did it? We got your code words. Papa John's means to make delivery of a human trafficking victim to the buyer. The buyer in this case is named Larry. He's a Houston realtor. And David ran around telling people, oh, she didn't have to be broke. We were going to get her help her get a real estate license and be raped so we could make a profit off of both. I don't want a real estate license. And the guy goes, by the way, that's bribery and enticement and not cooperation. You tried to starve her so she'd go for that. She just starved instead. So that's bribery, it's enticement, it's pressure, it's coercion, it's one more count after another count after another count after another count. And because they got you recorded talking about it before you did it, they've got intent and premeditation. Okay? You live with it. You can live with your choices, right, David? You decided to do all this. I don't know you from Adam. You picked the fight, did you not? You don't even know who you're fighting. They won't call you back until you act like you understand what he said. Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. And she'd better not be broke. You respect the law. You comply with the law. Grown-ass man or not? Are you or not? Can you not keep up with a civilized society? Are you inept? Socially, mentally, emotionally inept? Just a big fat fail? You got to use women to make money because you can't do it like other guys can do? Maybe. These guys are stupid. Been running around Oklahoma making a complete fool, an idiot of himself. And these people working for him just let him do it for 10 years. Sure, they like his money. And they're taking advantage of his mental illness. He can't make a logical, reasonable decision. So he's doing every stupid, whack job, fucked up thing on the planet and getting caught. And acts like he has no idea what's happening. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for him. And he has no idea that he's embarrassing himself like that. Not a clue. So we're told that talking to him is like talking to a drunk 6-year-old. He has no fucking idea what you're saying. About 10 years past a good time for the butterfly net, don't you think? I can say how I perceive you, and that's how I perceive you. Just a creepy little weird fuck. Can't control himself. All of you, right? Okay, so we got all this. Did you plan this? Oh, I'm going to raid you. I'm going to have your club raided. Are you? I will say this. Listen, it is my belief. I come from 4 generations of police, and I very nearly have a criminal justice degree. So I'm going to tell you something. I know, and I'm working with cops that are very, very good at what they do. And excellence is the bar. Excellence is the bar. And if you're a fucking undercover cop, and you come in, and you tell me I'm from Pennsylvania, and you talk like a fucking hick from Oklahoma, fuck you. Get your job right. Get your damn job right. Or don't come in there undercover. And then you wear these clothes from some company that you can tell they're being worn for the very first time. You borrowed it. You don't work there. That company lets you borrow the clothes. That's the second flag. And I'm like, get the hell out of here. You blew your cover as soon as you walked in the door and opened your mouth and started talking. Just, if you can't do it right, don't do it at all. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it at all. And if you're trying to sting on me, you better be CI level trained. Or you're going to piss me off. Because I don't like stupid. I fucking do. You know, you might be fun and cool and all that. But if you're there and you're trying to, keep up with me because I'm not slowing down for you. And I don't like to deal with that kind of shit. I like people who are smart and at least challenge me. I don't want to go. This guy walked in, and here's flag number 1, and here's flag number 2. Second he opened his mouth. He talks like a fucking hillbilly from Oklahoma, not Philadelphia. They have a whole different accent. And don't tell me, well, I'm from a different part of the state. No, you're not. Don't don't insult my intelligence, please. Don't insult my fucking intelligence that way. Do it right or get the hell out. Really, I mean it. Do it right. Do your job with excellence or get the fuck out. And don't bother me with that shit. Alright, so this was one of the first guys. This is the website that is a blog and again keeps track of each and every threat Mr. Perry makes. This one right here. This guy comes in and solicits prostitution on behalf of Mr. Perry. So they do have guys go to my work. and ask me every creepster question on the planet. And the last one that asked me questions like that, I looked at him and I said, that is not your business, sir. And that was a disgusting question you just asked me. And he goes, well, I've had other women that don't mind being asked that question. Listen, maybe, but I'm not that. I don't know what kind of people you're used to hanging out with, but my crowd doesn't put up with that kind of shit. So I will never do business with you again. You take your money and give it somewhere else, because you're not good enough for me even as a customer. How dare you? And that's a pretty good sign you work for Charles. And I don't deal with his people. If I know that's who you are, and I find out, I don't really want to deal with you. Because you have no legal business here. Okay? No legal business here at all. He is to leave me the fuck alone. And stop bothering me. So we have this guy, where I'm telling him Charles gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah. Just be creeped out by him and you'll be $5,000 richer. Look at that right there. Just be creeped out by him and you'll be $5,000 richer. Wow. So what do you think I said? No, and fuck you. Yeah. No thanks. I'm never going to do that. That's ridiculous. That's gross. How dare you? And don't insult me. Don't insult me that way. I don't know what kind of women you're used to. I'm not that. This is a job for me, and I'm really good at it. No other victim has what we have. No other victim has this stuff. I have it. Why is it different when you do it to me, dum-dum? Yep, nobody's been able to answer that question. Look at that. Politically, you could ruin him. Actually, yeah, and I'm like, I don't care. Well, you're not getting the big picture. Listen, his plan, his big picture, have not a damn thing to do with me. And I have no interest in it at all. None. I came here to be with my family and get away from all that. Him, his weirdo, his creepster problems, his sicko, and I don't want to hear what he thinks ever again. I don't even want to hear his name. So stop bothering me, you creep piece of crap. Get the hell out of my face. Get out of my fucking face. So he actually ruined it on his own because he has been in Oklahoma for 9 years, which is exceeding the 90 days required to establish residency in Oklahoma, and he's refusing to leave, and his refusal to leave is an expression of intent to stay in Oklahoma. So he doesn't live in Texas, and he can't run for office in Texas. So he ruined that all by himself, did he not? And he's too stupid to figure that out? That would have been a problem? Yeah, well, that's what we're dealing with. Someone who's that impaired mentally. And not one of the people working for him thought to tell him, you can't be in Oklahoma and run for office in Texas. And you can't be a stalker and give her more evidence every fucking day and think you're getting away with something. And her people won't call you back. You're not good enough. They're protecting her. She matters, not you. Can't you figure that out by now? Your other victims don't have people's names in your code word. Duck, duck, goose, and pin the tail on the donkey, and Hansel and Gretel, and Little Red Riding Hood. All of those words mean something they're going to try to do. Pin the tail on the donkey is a false arrest. It's a code word. Papa John's is make delivery of the victim to the buyer. It's a code word. They have a bunch of them. Ratatouille. Take her to dinner and see if you can tell her I'll pick you up for dinner. And then you got her home address. Yeah. They got it, just not through legal means. That's still not through legal means, but they think justified it in their head that maybe that is. Hansel and Gretel is coax the person to a place where they're going to hurt you. They're going to do something like they did to Mike Neely. They Hansel and Greteled him to Pensacola because he initially said no and then had to be begged to go. And they asked me 4 times in a text, how did you know he had to be begged to go? And I'm like, I'll answer that in court when I testify for Mr. Neely. So you made sure I didn't testify. All you wanted to know is if I knew which one of you coaxed him to Pensacola so that you could do the premeditated murder you had planned. And then you did fraud upon a court. Why did the jury not hear me talk? Again, that's 4 court proceedings where the jury never heard a word I had to say. And then Mr. Perry's typing in my phone, I win. I'm gonna take, I'm gonna get you. We're like, we are getting you, dum-dum. We are getting the help. You're getting told on. Every day, all day, for 10 years, not once or twice, not for a day or a week or a month. Every day, all damn day, for 10 years, we get it before you do it. So, I'm sorry, but you get told on, is all you get. You're not looking at your results and going, this isn't working. We're not accomplishing our objectives, and they are. So maybe we shouldn't be stupid and mess with her. Yeah, I don't know. I matter, not you. The victims at the compound in Houston, they matter, not you. Mike Neely matters, not you. We're getting help, not you. Stupid. Okay, so we also have the human trafficking page here, where we documented that jerk her off the stage and false arrest her and make a big scene at her work. And then sit her down and say, you're going to sign the affidavit we wrote for you, recanting your claims. And then we're going to take you to Houston, and you're going to do as you're told, and you can go get raped so we can make our money. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. And then I got people going, when are you going to get on the stage? And I'm like, it's none of your business, and what's it to you anyway? What is it to you anyway? What do you care? How much money did they promise you? Because if they didn't promise you money, you wouldn't be sitting here all pissed off and angry about it, would you? Because I barely know you. You don't care about that. What you care about is they want to run their thing, their little plan. And they can't run that plan until I get on the stage. Right? So you're really pissed off right now that I'm not getting on the stage. Otherwise, you wouldn't give a shit. Because you know what? No one else in here does. No one else in here has asked me about it. So why are you? Yeah. Quit insulting my intelligence. And everybody else's too, by the way. So we've documented the human trafficking here. And we have Mike Neely's case documented here. Every little detail. She found every mistake they made. Yeah. So, if the guys helping me heard you talking about arranging a false arrest on a false murder charge, it's a knowing and willful fraud and deception upon a court. They know I didn't do it, and you're trying to frame me. And you're going to jail for that, sir. In your make-believe world, what do you think we're going to do with all this intel? Tell me, what do you think in your little cuckoo bird make-believe land? What do you think we're going to do with it? Tell the judge. Which one are you in front of now? Is it Drew Farmer? Judge Drew Farmer? Judge Egan? Judge Parker? Judge Kirkendall? Judge Cummings? Judge Morrissey? Which one are you in front of now? Go in there and explain to that judge or those judges, what do you think in your Lulu cuckoo bird Looney Tune land that isn't real? What do you think we're going to do with the intel? And that guy that said she does not make mistakes. She might make you think she gave you something. She did not. Dumb. Go ahead and make a fool of yourself, though. She gave you something either to fuck with you or to let you waste your time looking into it to come up empty. But you go ahead and run around telling everybody how you got something. Okay? Yeah. We're going to prove our intel out. We have many ways that we do that. Most of the process I'm not involved with. But once in a while, you send some bitch to my work to say something stupid to me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use him to prove out my intel or fuck with him. Okay? It has been that way for 10 years. So if Dickie said that, he's not wrong. He said, I've watched her for 10 years. She doesn't make mistakes. She will fuck with you on purpose and make you look like an idiot on purpose because you don't have any business being at her work in Oklahoma. So if you're in there and you're in there to cause a harm to her, you're going to pay for it. And she'll make sure you pay for it one way or the other. But she does not make mistakes. I've never seen her make a mistake. She will make you think she did. Watch out, though. She did not. That's not her. She's good at this. I suck at everything, but not this. Okay, so there's Mike's case. This is my doctor who saw me for 1.5 years. Mr. Perry, you are practicing medicine without a license and diagnosing without examining the patient. And that is a violation of the Medical Practices Act, and you could get charged for that too, sir. Okay? So when y'all run around and go, she's crazy, we're not doing what she says, she's just crazy, she can't prove it. Everybody's like, go ahead, say that one more time, I dare you. Say it one more time, I dare you, princess. Do you hear the words that come out of your mouth? We don't think you do. Okay, so what I'm telling her is, I've asked people, what combination of words do I use to make that fuck leave me alone? Well, my disabled patients just try to get attention, and they'll bother the hell out of you. And if you can, you ignore it. But sometimes what you've got with Charles is, sometimes he escalates more than you can ignore. He's that pathetic, right? She didn't say he's that pathetic. I said that. So, basically, she said that your false arrest that led to you being here in my office is an escalation of stalking and nothing else. And his intent is to hurt you. That's not normal. To sit on your fat, lazy ass, perverting around all day, trying to pretending that's your life, imposing on other people, burdening other people, till they're so sick and tired of you, they're telling on you, so that you'll be gone. Poking peep. Your guy said that. Your guy calls you poking peep, pink, panty, pathetic, Perry. Your own people make fun of you. That's one of the things they said. One of many. How embarrassing. Maybe you ought to stop making a fool of yourself like this and leave everybody the fuck alone. This is the letter she wrote. After seeing me for 1.5 years, not a day, not a week, not a 2-hour eval, twice a month for an hour or two for 1.5 years. You're not a doctor, Mr. Perry. Stop practicing medicine without a license, David. So, she says, I found Ms. Ortiz to be intelligent, articulate, and honest. But she's sick and tired of him bothering her and imposing and interfering and butting into things that don't concern him, like whether or not I dance on a stage, which club, where it is. It's none of your business, is it, Connie? Yep. I don't call you up and say, here's what I'm going to do. I don't ask your we don't get your permission. We don't need your permission to find out what you're trying to do next. It's a crime. You're getting caught by cops. Can't name one of them. Oh, yeah, you can't. They don't pick up the phone and call you. Because my guy's like, I'm very busy running intel ops to keep Cyndi safe. She's our witness. I can't lose my witness. I got to keep her safe. And I got a whole bunch of dudes here who are one of them's mentally retarded and mentally ill, who's trying to ruin her and trying to coax her and try to change her testimony. And we're not going to allow for that. And he wants me to call him. I don't call people like him. I'm not repeating myself for him. I'm busy. I'm keeping her alive. You know how many people have said that? She's lucky to be alive. How is she alive? Well, she's got help. They thought maybe it was you. Gosh, it's not me, but I wish it was. Sounds very interesting. Sounds like a huge case. Sounds like a big catch for law enforcement. Bencore. I have your name, and if you weren't stupid, you'd shit yourself, because I've not met you that I know of. How do you know me, sir? I'd be very careful about pissing me off. She's worried about her safety. She's in fear for her life. Harm. Mr. Perry will do harm. I don't think she said I'm in fear for my life, but I am at times. I think she's trying to avoid Mr. Perry, and she's in fear because he threatened her all the time and interfering with her family. Okay, and then you did. You did interfere with my family, didn't you? I didn't introduce you to my family. There's no way I would take you around my family. And then we have all the perjury here. In the case of my first false arrest, since the minute I got home, you told everybody in Lubbock while I was in jail for the first one, I'm going to send her home. I'm going to harass the hell out of her. And when she complains about it, I'll say she's harassing me. I'll lie. Get out of Oklahoma. You don't go where the accuser is of stalking and say you're being harassed in a whole nother state thousands of miles away from your home and then refuse to leave. That is stalking. That is stalking. I don't go to Texas. I'll live in my car first, but I don't go to Texas. By the way, the living in my car has been over for about a year now. And for the most part, I've been able to eat consistently for almost that year. A couple of times, Mr. Perry has tried to make sure I don't make money a time, here and there. It's kind of random. But he gets caught and we start screaming and hollering about it. And then he usually backs off a little bit. Not always. I did go 4 days with no food in the summer. 4 days with no food. So what was happening is he would jam up my DoorDash app so I couldn't make any money. Or they would only let certain orders go through that would spend the most gas and make the least amount of money. And that's Calvin and Cyndi that do that. We know that. They set up those orders. It should be random. There's an algorithm that picks drivers randomly. They have basically taken over the app. So I get their people. So they get me on the doorbell camera or home surveillance of some sort. And they'll limit what orders come through if I can get anybody except their people. So they're getting pictures of me so they can say they're not stalking me, hacking my phone and my Dasher app. And DoorDash was not happy to find out that their app was being used for organized crime. Do you think they would really oh sure, we're glad to hear that? No, they were not, Lucius. Calvin, Cyndi. They were not. You do what you do, okay? Now, I would like for you to, anybody that wants to see if I was illegally detained or not can look at all this. And if Mike Neely actually killed Chief Miller or not, you can find that information on my blog. I've been over it and over it and over it and over it and over it. Now, Mr. Perry, do one more time say that I was not illegally detained, say I'm crazy, and that Mike killed Chief Miller. Do it. I dare you. Okay? You can live with your choices, can't you? And here's the disclaimer. But for Mr. Perry being the cause of 20,000 different things, pullovers by local cops that shouldn't have been, they shouldn't have known where I was. Take a taillight out or a headlight out to have me pulled over. Right? Prove that's not true. Prove that's a lie and I know I'm lying. Do it, Charles. I dare you. Say one more time that I was not illegally detained and that I'm crazy. Do it one more time. Do it under oath. Because every time you do, we're going to stack that up. Say that I'm not broke because you intended to make me broke. And then you type in my phone, I made you broke. Why don't you like me? Call me. I'm going to get you. I'm going to make you go. I'm going to raid the club. I'm going to have you arrested. Do it one more time. Do it under oath. Okay? Tell one more lie in a court of law under oath. Go bribe one more judge. They said she didn't have to be broke. They were going to get her a real estate license and she could go be raped. Gee, why wouldn't she take that deal? That's a sweet deal. Well, she didn't want any of that. No person in their right mind would. And that's bribery, by the way. The real estate license, they're trying to bribe her with a real estate license and rape? Wow. She slept in her car. That was better. For 6 months and didn't eat and didn't bathe. I had to take a bath about twice a week because you have to pay for the bath. And the food, the same thing. I got to eat about twice a week. They literally made sure that I made no money making DoorDash. And out of the club, it was too dangerous for me to go there at that time. Sometimes it still is. You're making it dangerous. You're the cause. So we apply the but-for causation, Mr. Perry. Why are you in Oklahoma at all? You're not wanted. You're not loved. You're told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. You're a burden and an imposition everybody wants gone. So we get the help. You get told on. That's what you get. You get told on. And it's been that way all day, every day, for a decade. Stupid. You're very stupid. Why Mr. Perry's going through all of Oklahoma saying that he's the victim of a political vendetta and a romance. And I'm not seeing evidence of either one. He's making a complete buffoon of himself, and all those guys working for him are letting him. So why are they letting him? But for they're taking advantage of his mental illness and getting money. Milking him for money. Kind of has it coming. But it might be a good thing to consider an executor to take over his finances so that people don't take advantage of his mental disability like that. I'm just saying. I'm repeating what the guy said. This is a video by the National Stalking Resource Center, who does training videos for law enforcement, judges, and prosecutors. And it talks about the use of technology to stalk. As technology has become more readily available, stalkers use it to stalk. Voyeurism and cloning or hacking a phone to monitor communications and whereabouts of the victim. Watch the video. This is what the police are supposed to do when they get a stalking complaint. Or car vandalism. She specifically says car vandalism is likely related to stalking. Yeah, gosh. What would it be like to be in a world where the police are actually good at what they do and they show up to do their job for you with excellence? Thank God I have somebody from somewhere else helping me, huh? Whatever would I do if I didn't have that? Yeah. When you come to me undercover, get your game right. Because if you don't, you're just going to irritate, even if you're after me. You're going to piss me off because you're insulting me. You're insulting my intelligence because I am good at what I do. We are catching the bad guys. Okay? Gosh, if you're fun, that's wonderful. Fun to hang out with, that's great. There's been some that are. But if you're there working undercover, do it the fucking thing right. Because if you don't, that pisses me off. It's like grinding fingernails on a chalkboard. I'm waiting for a local to impress me. I really would like to see that, and I've not seen it yet. I did tell one guy from Stillwater, don't sting at me unless you got somebody who's CIA level trained, because you will fail, and you're going to make me mad. It's not, I will keep up, believe me. I'm very confident in my ability to outdo you, no matter what. But at least make it a challenge. Don't bore me to tears. Do it good. Please just do it fucking good. Actually, there was one guy that very nearly had me fooled, but his friend blew it for him. I felt bad. I was like, oh, dude, your friend just blew your cover. And he was like, fuck. I go, yeah. Better have a talk with your friend because you almost had that one. You almost fooled me. That's very hard to do. But you almost pulled it off. Go do it right or go home. Don't bother me with the half-ass shit. I don't like it. I really fucking don't like it. And if you're in there after me, I'll know it in 30 seconds. So it won't matter. Even the guy that blew his cover, I knew he was there. He was in there to talk to me. And I wasn't going to give him what he wanted, but I didn't know what exactly his bullshit was until his friend blurted it out. So then I was like, oops. Anyways, everyone's a bad guy till they're not. So everybody that I talk to, first they have to prove they're not doing what I'm pretty sure they're there to do. Ask me questions that aren't their business. To run back to Charles Perry and go, oh, I got something. Yeah. So pretty much everybody that I speak to, I'm speaking to with that in mind. So I'm already guarded. Second of all, I just don't like the insult to what I can do and how well I do it with the half-ass shit that comes at me sometimes. When you're wearing a brand new uniform that's never been worn before, and you telling me I'm from Philadelphia, and you talk like a fucking hick from Oklahoma. I'm just like, wow, you just insulted me because surely I know that you're full of crap. If you say you're from Pennsylvania, talk like you're from Pennsylvania. Do do it right or get out. Don't tell me you work for this company and I can tell that that's the first time that a uniform's been worn ever. They let you borrow it. I mean, it just, stuff like that is just, to me, it's just an insult to my ability. So I don't like it. I really fucking don't like it. But here's our disclaimer, but for you doing shit like that, we wouldn't document it in these podcasts, would we? Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. And she's not to be broke, because what happens is we find out every fucking whack job thing you're trying to do. Because you're told on, because people don't like that. You're not happy that she finds every time before? No. Okay, well, guess what? She said people are uncomfortable with your crime. Crime tends to make people uncomfortable. Her people understand what people want, and it's not this. They don't like crime. Nobody likes crime. And so until you get that through your head, and Mr. Perry gets a grasp on reality, it'll happen again tomorrow. And then y'all all run around. How'd she find out? How'd she know? Well, but we've told you how. Over and over and over and over. You're offending normal folks. You're creeping us out. And maybe you should stop before they do it for you. Because when they do it for you, you're not going to like how they do it. You won't. But we're certain you can live with your choices, right? Alright, so we have umpteen jillion conversations they've had. Look, they got that to me when you illegally detained me. Mr. Perry, I don't care what you think. Nobody understands what you think I do. When you try to talk to me, you act like you think I want to hear it. And I'm very sure I said I don't. Do not contact me, creepy Chucky. Do not bother me. Do not invade my privacy. Do not contact me. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you. I don't care, Connie. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. I don't care what you think. You're a coward. I don't care what you think. I moved 2 times not to ever again have to hear what you think or how you feel or what you want or what you need. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I want you to fuck off. And every time you violate me like that, my guys get pissed. And they got me that when you illegally detained me. And everything you've said since. Mike Neely was drugged. He didn't kill Lucky. We said it long before. That was a matter of public record. Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, Blankenship, Desiree, Richard, Dickey, Sonjay, Beverly, Renee, Betancourt, Oscar, Bruce, Andrew, Lawrence, James, Reuben, Nesbitt, Sonjay, did I say Sonjay? Beverly, Greg, Tim, Larry, Gabe, Jacob, Bethany, and Damien. Who's Damien? Shut the hell up and leave me the fuck alone.